for Call of Duty to remove something from their game within a 24-hour period because of the disrespect that was shown to Muslims and the outpouring of support from the Muslim community. Many major Call of Duty accounts retweeted this, Charlie Intel, others. For them to remove something that quickly shows that they did take it seriously. If this was still in the game today, that game would not be being played by me. I would have deleted it from my PC. I would have not streamed it. I would have removed it from the MGL Discord. I would have removed the role. I would have removed the room, and I would have encouraged everybody to stay away from the game because you could unknowingly be running around stomping on pages of the Quran. That would have, there was no question about that. You know, I would have refrained. But the simple fact that the correction was made so quickly, I don't believe the apology went far enough. This I agree with. They made an apology in Arabic on the Mideast account. I don't believe that went far enough. I believe it should have been on the main Call of Duty page, the main Activision page, or the main Sledgehammer Games page in English, because it also shows a bit of ignorance to think that only Arabs were insulted by the pages of the Quran being on the ground, when actually you insulted 2 billion people on the planet, and the minority of them are Arabs. So that was that. But I am someone who tries to reserve judgment before until I look at the bigger picture. It's hard to judge people's intention, and I know we like to do that. You know, immediately we jump onto the fact that, you know, this was Islamophobic, this was intended, this was meant, and it could possibly be. But also being a gamer myself and having dealt with games for many years, I also understand how the process goes of adding assets into games. And there would have been one person on the dev team, and this would have been in Treyarch Studios, which is actually a completely separate development team that would have been working on a previous game. So that dev that put that in there would have had a list of assets, you know, that he has to enter into the game. And he has a search bar where he could enter in, and, you know, it could have very easily it could have been as easy as he went and looked for Arabic book, you know what I mean, or a religious text, and he saw something that had a very good look to it because those pages of the Quran were colorful and things of that nature. And he said, you know, okay, this looks good. It looks like a good asset. I'm gonna chuck it in. And it also could have been somebody who was ill-intended. Yes, 100%. There could have been a dev that said, you know, hey, but at the same time, this dev would have had to have understood that putting pages of the Quran on the floor was a disrespect to Muslims. So the conspiracy would go somewhat deep. And so I'll look at the bigger picture. Now, what has happened in 24 hours? In that 24-hour period from the time that this was noticed in the game and being put on social media to the time it was removed, what happened was that fact that Muslims have a prominent role in the gaming industry and are able to influence Activision, influence Sledgehammer Games, influence Treyarch Studios, because that is the actual studio that would have had to have gone and removed it, shows that we now have a voice. We have a voice. And in 24 hours, we removed this, and it made a big stink on social media. That means that the gaming industry, a lot of people in the gaming industry, especially Call of Duty fans, especially zombie fans, are now starkly aware that Muslims do not tolerate nor play with disrespect to the Quran. And that is a very beautiful thing to me.